Back to another edition of the Drive Home Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Mercurio, and we have a great show today lined up because we are doing a crossover with my good friend, the host of Day Drinking with Dog, Jeremy Wells. Jeremy, what's going on?
What's going on, the Drive Home Podcast, buddy?
Nothing, nice little Friday show. You're working tonight, right? So that's
Yeah, I am. I got 2 more weekends of work till I hit the cruise. I'm calling it the NFL Draft Cruise this year, since I'm pretty much watching the first 3 rounds on the first 3, actually the whole thing. Do they do a Sunday anymore? Or is it just Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
I think it's Thursdays round one, Fridays 2 and 3, I believe,
and then they just
finish it out.
Yeah, it's Saturday. So I will be on the ship all 3 days.
Remember when it was like all day Saturday and all day Sunday?
Yeah.
So like the first round was like noon.
Yeah. And what was cool about it is like your pick happened, you did what you had to do in the yard, or and then by the time you came back, you saw your second pick.
Right, exactly.
Now it's like 3 days. I mean, the NFL does it right though. Like they as much as people kill on Goodell, Patriots fans mostly, they know how to make money. They know how to run the show.
No, and it's brilliant. It's just funny because the first round's 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then every other round's 10. Or is it just second, third round's 10, and then the other ones are shorter?
Yeah, I think the other ones are shorter, yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because they cruise through them. I mean, you got 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah. So we were talking last night. So if the Red Sox had won, we'd give them a little bit of time. So we'll give them about 3 minutes. I'll start with the first minute and a half, then you can come in. I think we were both excited, but very hesitant on that 7-3 road trip. We knew their pitching would be solid. We didn't think it'd start out that good, but come on. They played the A's. They played the Angels without Shohei. The split in Seattle was good.
Last year, in their first 10 games on the West Coast, they went 4-6. So 7-3 was an improvement for us. Plus, it was like, okay, they did what they had to do, so we're like good. Right. Maybe they'll break 500 because they did what they had to do.
Right. No, I agree. But we were still very skeptical. And then Story gets hurt. We didn't know he was out for the year till they got home, but that was the first ball to drop. And then Pavetta, and then Romy Gonzalez can't play now. And I was watching the game last night, and they actually got to the point where they had to bring a pitcher in. They had to move Connor Wong the second, and then somebody got ejected in the ninth?
It was
Reese McGuire.
Did you see why he got ejected?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was arguing. It was a weak ejection, but
someone threw a chicken wing on the.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So someone threw a chicken wing. It bounced in the right-handed hitter's batter's box. So Reese McGuire tried to step out of the thing, but the umpire run him up, and that's when he started arguing. And then see you later.
Oh well, I mean, whatever. These umpires are little sallies lately. But anyway, so here we are. They got swept by Baltimore. They could have won. They should have won 2 of the games. Absolutely. And a lot of it's come down to that one pitcher, Robinson. What's his name?
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. No. The guy with the mustache. He's the one that gave up all those runs against Baltimore when we were at 5-0, and then he was the one that gave up the 2-run homer.
Well, Cutter Crawford Chris Martin?
No.
But he was the one that gave up the home run 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that was when they took the lead. That was that weird inning with the catcher interference and all that. Yeah, it just last night was the guy couldn't touch second base on the double play. And then they take out the pitcher, and the very next pitch is a 2-run homer.
Yeah.
But
it's like the bad,
it's bad news bears. It's just a comedy of errors, and as much as we shit on Story, he does solidify that side of the infield, and he's not even. I mean, he's gone again. We have him next year too? Was it a 4-year deal?
No, it was 6.
6?
140.
Oh,
so we
my
got 3
God.
more years of this.
See, you're my contract guy. I forget all these contracts. You know them up in your fucking dome.
Dude, we still have 3 years of Yoshida after this.
Yeah, I know that. Give him time. It's so early. Remember that hot streak he had last year? I know you're down on him big time. I think he's just not he can't play defense. He's not really a power hitter. So he's just got to like kind of slap the ball around. He went on that huge he was like player of the month last year in May, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he started off with like a 3-homer game in Milwaukee, and then it like carried on for a month.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I get it. I like you turn on people quick though. I have a longer leash than you do. I like to think of the good in people, like OJ.
We'll get there.
Like
But it's like I start out every season like, oh, they won 100 games, but then you watch them, and I guess the thing with Yoshida is the same thing with like Story. So the Story thing, it's freak accidents, but it's a trend. Like there's always a freak accident. He's always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you blow out your shoulder diving for a ball. It's like a freak accident, but it's 3 consecutive years of freak accidents.
He needs to play like one of those like air bubble things.
Yeah. But this is the thing. They won't sign off on any major contracts, right, for free agents. But they signed off on Yoshida for 90 and Story for 140.
Yeah.
So it's like how did Bloom talk you into those two?
Right.
But you won't sign a pitcher.
Well, I mean, circumstances are a little different now because Henry's got his hands in more things than he had 2 years ago. I mean, I think that comes
Was
with
he even there for opening day?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I
wasn't there. I mean, I'm usually. I wasn't even watching. I was golfing. I said, "Fuck this! I'm going golfing."
Dude,
it was a nice day.
They honored the 014.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, was he even there?
I know. I don't know.
I doubt. I'm sure we would have heard it because he would have got booed.
It's been kind of cool, like watching social media with like Pedro and Manny and all the pictures they're taking and the restaurants they've been hanging out at. It's 20 years. God, it doesn't. I mean, it seems like not yesterday, but like not 20 years ago.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 20 years ago. I mean, think about it. 20 years ago, we didn't have social media.
Nope.
We weren't.
We didn't have camera phones. We didn't have.
No, it wasn't like.
We didn't have the iPhone.
Yeah, we weren't like texting like crazy. We were just.
Yeah. Hey, I went to the game last night. Well, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
Yeah. Now it's crazy. All right, that's like 7 minutes we gave them. Fuck them.
Real quick.
Hold on real quick? Do they finish this weekend 500? Oh, wait, is Monday the?
Monday's the marathon.
Okay, so it's a 4-gamer. They're 7-6. Yeah. Are they 9-8, or better, or 8-9, or worse?
8-9. 8-9.
So they're gonna be 8-9.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose 3 out of 4.
Yes. And I want to tell you this. I did write this down. I know we've given them too much time, but in the last 19 games at Fenway Park, they're 3-16, which is tied for the worst record at Fenway in 90 years with the 1994 team. The reason I wrote this down is who was on that team?
94?
Clemens was, right?
Yeah.
94, Clemens was. But who else?
Clemens was that Clemens' last year?
Yeah.
That was his sunset year. Yeah. Fading off into the sunset.
Well, no, he's on the back half of his, or I forget that Duquette quote is what we're talking about. He's in the twilight of his career.
And then he went to Toronto and won 2 straight Cy Youngs.
Right, because he's juicing. But I mean,
who cares?
Listen, I'm all for it.
They all did it.
But I was trying to think of that was the year before they got Kevin Mitchell. Was Canseco on that team? Mo Vaughn?
Man. You got to prep me on this. Mo Vaughn was there.
It was funny because when I saw 94, I was thinking we were 18, 20.
Yeah.
So but who was on? Aaron Seeley? Was he on that team? You remember
John Valentin?
Yeah. Exactly. It was before Nomar.
Lou Merloni?
No.
A little too early for him?
That was too early for him. Lou was in the minors at that point because I think he graduated Providence in 93.
Yeah. I'd have to look up their roster. Yeah, but yeah. It's,
I mean, the only reason is because it was 94, so I figured we might know a name or two. So that's the only reason I asked. But where do you want to go next?
I say we. You want to do a quick set Celtics minute since you haven't watched the game all year?
I still haven't watched the game, so I don't.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Dude, I can't.
Oh, stop.
The NBA is the worst product.
Dude, you are sounding your age. Like you're like a young Dan Shaughnessy right now. Like you're just
I'm
like
way more positive than you.
Well, you don't even watch games anymore. Like we could like just 2 years ago we talked about every Celtics game, every playoff game. You hated the Porzingis signing. You have to admit, so far, knock on wood, he's been healthy.
Okay, so here's my take on that real quick because I did hate it, and I was told he'll be healthy. He played 65 games last year. He's a missing piece. 2 things: they're 19-4 without him, and he's not even going to play 65 games.
Yeah, well, that should tell you how good they are.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm telling you, the Porzingis.
Well, you look at it like this. I think Drew Holiday's an upgrade over Marcus Smart, right?
That was what changed it.
Robert Williams never played anyway.
Right.
So Porzingis is just that extra.
Look, he's better.
He's unguardable.
He is, but can you trust he'll be healthy?
I don't know. We're here. We're here. It's the playoffs start next week.
He's missed 23 games already.
I don't care. That's on purpose, though. He missed a couple because he tweaked his ankle, but that's all. They're resting like all the other teams do now. Tatum sits out every other game now. They all played last night and got crushed by the Knicks. But I think it was just an effort thing. I did watch the game. They're like, all right, let's just get to the fucking playoffs. Let's not go and make some crazy block and get fucking hurt. And then Knicks are playing for not their lives, but their playoff seeding lives. And, here I am in Connecticut, and I listen to all this New York radio, and I just happened to flip on Cartman this morning. But, he's on Fox. He's national now, but he's a New York guy. And they're all like, Knicks are going to the finals now because they beat the Celtics last night. It's like, dude, it's a regular season game. And in a 7-game series, you will get some shots that go down. When everyone shoots threes, if you're on that night, you win. If you're out, and I get where you're like, it's kind of unwatchable. I don't sit there and watch it, wire to wire. Like I went to the Celtics Golden State game. It was 21-21. Blink of an eye, it was a 30-to-something run. They're up 30. Then they went up 50. Then they went up 54. They ended up winning by 52. All my prop bets lost because they took all the starters out in the middle of the third quarter. So I had like Brown and Tatum for like 25 points each, and fucking it was just a blowout. So they didn't play the rest of the game.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I know you don't watch, but obviously you follow. I mean, I know you know where they're at. I know you already told me Porzingis' fucking record when he's not playing. So
people are on me about it. It's so funny. Somebody I don't even know like this. Like I have fun with Twitter, but holy hell, people are just way too attached. Someone literally went back and found my post of when they traded for Porzingis. I said something like, "Please rescind this trade," right?
Yeah.
And someone retweeted it and wrote "old takes exposed," and I was like, "Dude, that's last June."
Right.
Like you went back and found this from how?
Dude, that's what people do.
I know, it was crazy, and then other people were jumping on it, and I'm just sitting there like, I like one guy. I was just like, bro, I was like, this is from last June. Do you have nothing else to do?
They don't.
It's unbelievable.
I would take it as a compliment that someone was digging through your Twitter just to find something that you were negative against him, and he could throw it in your face. Like, I'd be like, dude, thanks for digging, man.
I know. Like it was just at first it was weird, and then I'm just like, wow, like this is really the stuff that people have, and it's like it wasn't from my podcast page, it was from my personal page, and like. I don't know how. I mean, somebody was digging through last June. It was just weird. By the way, fun Twitter fact: a guy I know from like basketball and everything. His name on it is Valid Haitian, and he's younger. He's in his 30s, but he's all about like posting about the 90s and how they weren't plumbers, all that stuff.
Right.
And he posted something yesterday congratulating Michael Cooper for getting into the Hall of Fame, and I commented. Because I comment on all this stuff, I wrote, Larry always said Michael Cooper was the toughest defender he ever faced, and Michael Cooper liked it.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty funny.
I know. That's what... So I don't... You know me. I don't have much Twitter presence. At all. I've had a couple interactions, like Chris Gasper. We actually DM'd each other once, and... Couple, I can't remember, but like whatever.
I follow like the sports writers because they usually go to Twitter first.
Yeah.
And also, if you like Gasper's The Globe, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to pay for The Globe. So if you click on his article and there's like reader view available or whatever, and I click on it, I can read. So I follow them because I can read their stuff on Twitter. Because I'm not giving $14.99 a month to John Henry.
No. I go on it. Yeah, some articles you can read, some you don't. I don't do that for any paper.
No.
Like it's all out there.
Yeah.
Like even like athletic articles, you can find them somewhere else.
I do pay for the Athletic only because during COVID I signed up for it, and it's just a recurring thing.
You can't figure out how you paid for it.
Well, I don't even know when the bill comes. I don't even know when the payment comes out. So I've just kind of rolled with it. But I think honestly, when I signed up, it was $1 for the first year, and then it was like $39 for every year afterwards. So I'm like $40 a year.
Yeah, whatever.
You know.
I mean, I think the C's roll through the East. Maybe have one game or one series extended to 6, and they win the whole thing if they don't play Denver.
That's the only thing that bothers me about the NBA is every series goes to 7, or like 6.
Well, 6, yeah.
Because I read one home playoff game pockets at least $1 million cash into an owner's pocket.
Yeah.
So there's reason for the league to extend them. Plus the league, Yeah,
but we've seen Celtics. They swept Brooklyn a couple of years ago. I mean,
I know, but they don't want to see them just sitting there waiting, resting. While you know what I mean. They want every series to be on. I just
think the refs can definitely control the game. I just think they're too good. Like especially at home. Like if they lose more than one game in the whole playoffs at home, I'd be shocked. And it'd probably be like game 1 of the first series, and then it'd be like, oh shit, all right, like we got to turn the engines back on. Right. Like after that, I could see Philly winning a game at home. If Giannis is hurt, I don't think we play them. I think they're ousted before we even see them. I mean, Miami will always squeeze out a game at home against us. They did it last year. They're not the same team this year though, and we're better. Like. Philly, they'd win a game at home, but we'd probably win in 5. And then after that, Indiana would probably, Halliburton probably get hot one game from 3, and they'll win a game at home. But, I see us going 12-3 or 12-2 in that run to get to the finals. And then the West is a fucking minefield of decent to really good teams. And I mean, think about Lakers and Golden State are going to play in a one-off, most likely.
Does the league want LeBron to at least get out of the play?
Yes, of course they do. Of course they do. The biggest conundrum they have right now is that Golden State is going to play them, and they're going to lose Steph and Clay, or they're going to lose, LeBron and AD. And you need LeBron. I'm sorry, LeBron's still going to get in over Steph.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I can't stand the NBA, though.
The play-in shouldn't even exist, but here we are.
No, of course, right. Well, it's money.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, it's $1 million cash. So whatever owner, let's just say the Warriors host it, even if they lose, he gets $1 million.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So
what's $1 million? I mean, you say it these guys are fucking multi-billionaires.
Oh, no doubt about it. But it's just...
Like, the players won't even play in this fucking in-season tournament to win $1 million. They could care less.
I know.
That's the players. What the fuck is $1 million to the owners?
I know.
I mean, $100 million was one thing, but $1 million, they probably just write it off to fucking their taxes anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got them. Are you going to watch the playoffs? I mean, come on.
No.
You know what? Then you do not get to talk. You don't get to celebrate the championship that we first won since 2007-8 season.
Here's the thing.
It's been 17 years since we've won.
I want them to win. I hope they win. I'm rooting for them to win. Sitting through an NBA game is painful. The fouls, no travel.
It's been like that for a long time, Chris.
I know.
The only thing that's changed is the amount of threes they jack up.
No,
but the one thing the Celtics do is play defense, which a lot of teams don't, i.e. the Pacers, the Bucks. Yeah, like Like, I don't mind watching it.
The thing is, though, so I saw a stat the other day that the Lakers like have the most free throws in the NBA by like over 200, and they're 28th in the league in drives to the hoop.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's always been this way, though, Chris. It's always been a star-driven, referee-run league.
I know.
It's
frustrating.
Get over it.
I don't know if I can. I promised myself I wouldn't watch a game this year.
Oh,
as you're wearing a Celtics hat.
I did that on purpose. I'm a Celtics honk. I can't. Listen, this is the only team right now that really is the only team that legitimately has a chance to win a championship. Out of the four, the Bruins do not. I'm sorry. The Patriots sure as hell don't, and the Red Sox are probably going to be trash again. So, what else do we have to root for? This is the one thing you have on your plate, and that is in 2.5 weeks, the draft. That is like your mecca of sports upcoming, and then after that, it's over. Unless you turn on the Celtics game.
No, because then we got rookie minicamp. Then we got
have fun with that.
They haven't even done their OTAs yet, right?
It starts after the draft. They had the mini.
They didn't do the minicamp yet. Oh,
yes, they just did it. And what's his name showed up? Slater. Yeah, they say he's going to be. Right now, he's just I don't know.
He's an advisor.
An advisor, but he may get a paid role. They said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe. Did
you see Troy Brown might become the wide receivers coach at Arizona State?
All right. What do you do with our wide receivers this year?
No, look, I mean, I love Troy Brown. He's one of my favorite Patriots, but we have the worst wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, granted, a lot of that's talent, but what has he done?
Kirk Cousins says, what's his name? KJ
Osborne?
Look out. Look out.
Listen, I talked myself into it, so.
I know you did as the Patriots. Oh, boy.
So should we talk a little draft?
Yeah, but seriously, I want to get back to this point that you can't even, because you promised yourself, and coming from someone that's been sober for as long as you have, I get your mental will is much greater than mine. Yep. But I mean, finals game 1 against the Denver Nuggets or the Los Angeles Lakers, you're not going to tune in.
Well, let me say
9 o'clock on a Monday night.
That's the problem.
Well, whatever. It's been like that forever too.
I can't. Like the UConn game last.
I know. Yeah, at least those games are only 2 hours.
I know, but 9:20. You started at 9:20.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about the West Coast?
Did they outrate the women's game? Because the women's was Sunday at 3.
Not even close. The women's was like
18. Yeah.
It was like 11.
Yeah, I think the first game of the Final Four, the one that started at like 6, was close. They were like 14 million or 15 million. I mean,
look, I'm not gonna say that the men's would have outdrawn them. I do think you lose a little bit because it's 9:20 on the East Coast. I mean,
why don't I don't understand. I mean, I know they don't want to go back-to-back games, but why not do Friday, Sunday, and then have the girls play Thursday, Final Four. The guys play Friday, Final Four, whatever fucking times you want to do. And then Sunday, you got the girls game at 3. Play in the same fucking stadium. No, that wouldn't work because of college kids. But the girls game at 3, the men's game at 6:30 on a Sunday night.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you're not up against anything else.
Right. And
golf's over, no football.
Sunday night football is usually one of the highest rated shows. So it's proven that you could put something on Sunday night and it succeeds.
Right.
It's just tough. Like, on a Monday, when you work like a office job, like going to bed at midnight on a Monday really sets your week back. It really does.
So, all right, let me give you one quick UConn note.
Okay.
I feel, I'm a UConn fan, have been since 1988. This is our 6th championship. Hurley, what a job. He literally got the job now 6 years ago, and he said, in 5 years, I win a championship. And he nailed that last year, and he had to recreate his whole roster. It's a little easier now with transfer portals and stuff, but you still got to get the players. You got a lot of competition out there.
Well, and also, you're competing against NIL money, and I'm assuming Stores doesn't really have a lot of
No, they don't. Money. I mean, it's a rich state, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
They can go do Hartford Healthcare, or Yale. Yale. I mean,
Is UConn the number one show in town basically during basketball season?
yeah. I mean, there's some locals, but they're all D2 or whatever you call it. And there literally is nothing to do but tip cows up where they are. I mean, the campus. Yeah. I mean, it's a great party campus, but there's nothing to do. You got to drive an hour in either direction to find civilization.
It's off what, 84?
It's off 84. There is a little strip club right off that exit before you head to, and a subway.
That has a huge billboard.
Yeah, Electric Blue.
Strip club.
The Electric Blue. Yep.
I've driven by that for 30 years.
Yep. But now they got. Let's see. So he turned down $100 million offer from Kentucky yesterday.
Oh,
Hurley did.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Kentucky. They're hiring.
They're hiring this dude from
BYU.
Yes, and did you see
he was on?
He did a video.
Did you know he was on there 96 with Antoine Walker and them?
Oh yeah.
Starting center. That's the connection there.
So they showed a video this morning of him accepting the Kentucky job, and he ripped off his shirt and had Kentucky underneath it, and the video scanned back, and it was so cringeworthy. And as they scanned back, he was doing it in BYU's gym, and you could see the BYU logo behind him.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with people?
Anyway, so we're basically losing if Caravan goes pro, which they're saying is 50-50, that means we're going to lose our whole starting five.
Okay.
They're all gone. Klingon's going to the draft.
I know that.
Cam Spencer's a senior. What's his name? The guy that won MOP is a senior. And the freshman kid, the stud freshman, he's gone. He said he's going to go third in the draft this year.
Yeah.
So they're all gone.
But you can reload now.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They already have some, big recruits coming in, and once that transfer portal hits, Cooper Flagg's going to Duke, and it was between Duke and UConn.
Yeah.
He's got to be kicking himself now, but he's one and done anyway. He's going to be the number one pick in the draft next year.
So, by the way, if memory serves me, the first title was 99.
Yeah. Rip Hamilton against Duke.
Right, and you want to know a fun fact? I watched it with you guys.
We were at the Orange Ale House.
Yeah.
Correct?
Connecticut with you guys.
Yep. We were at the Orange Ale House.
Yep.
And I was actually at the time living in Florida. And I was up for that weekend.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. I do remember that. Yeah.
I was with you guys for the first time.
And then I moved home 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I don't even remember where we were, but there was just this huge, we were eating dinner.
It was Corner Pocket was the name of the bar. I kept saying Orange Ale House. That's down this road a little bit.
Well, I just remember being at this restaurant, and we were eating, and then it was I don't even remember, a half hour before game time, and just a flood of people left.
Yeah.
And I was like, where's everyone going? And then we left.
Yeah.
It was just everybody, and it was the most captivating moment in Connecticut history to that point.
Right. It was, we were so close so many times with some really great teams. And what's crazy now is we are now 6-0 in national title games.
Really?
Yeah. 6-0.
That team, they had Khalid El Amin. He was their point guard, I believe.
That year, yeah. I mean, Ray Allen never won one, I don't think.
No.
The Marshalls never won one.
Nope.
Chris Smith and Cliff Robinson and all those guys. They had some really good teams. Rudy Gay.
Because I remember when they won, Calhoun got up there and he named all those.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this is for all them that started the program, that built the program, blah, 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 and got it all the way up.
Yeah. All right. We want to get into our draft picks?
Yeah.
All right. Before we do, okay. Let me do my little Viva. This is my Viva Gambling Minute. All right?
All right.
Viva Tequila Seltzer, the #1 hard seltzer in the world and the official hard seltzer of Day Drinking with Dog. Ditch the malt, add tequila. All right, so back in November, I put a $25 bet down on UConn. At the time, for whatever reason, I was up in Massachusetts, can't bet on them here. They were plus 2,500. Off of a national championship, I'm like, I still kick myself for not betting $100 on it to win 2,500. But I paid $650. So Saturday night, I go up to Boston. and I'm at this watch party, and there's this girl, Kelly, in Vegas, who will probably, hopefully, very much so be a guest on this show right before the football season, and we'll talk betting and all that good stuff. And I showed her my bet, and she posted it on Twitter, and because they were offering me a cash out of $337 with 2 games to go. We knew they were killing Alabama. So she's like, this is the dumbest cash out ever. Don't cash out. So she posted it online. She has, like I said, I have no Twitter following. She probably has tens of thousands. My phone ended up getting like 150,000 views and all these comments and likes and stuff. And I wrote it out. You know, I did hedge my bet a little bit on Monday night. I put 100 on Purdue. Just, you know, I put it on when I was up in Boston still, just so I didn't lose anything. So I ended up winning $550, right, on a $25 bet. So I'm like, sweet. So I cash out the $650, but I left 50 in there. And you and I talked yesterday. Uh-oh. We were texting. And we were like, are the Red Sox going to be fucking 7-6, or what are we talking about tomorrow? And after we stopped talking, I took that 50.
Oh boy.
And I bet Baltimore minus 1.5 runs, parlayed it with the over 8.5. The game was this is for the $50 to win almost $200. It was 3-2. I'm like, I'm not winning this game. Then they tied it up. I said, all right, if we get to extras, there's a lot of runs can be scored in extras with that ghost runner. They hit that 2-run homer. Who was it? Their leadoff hitter. Gunnar Henderson hits the 2-run homer. I'm like, but fuck, I need another half run, and if I get that run in the bottom of the inning, I lose the bet because then they cover the spread. So now there's 2 outs, nobody on. Double, wild pitch, walk, base hit. I'm like, there's my run, and then boom, this guy, Colton Cowser. I have a very good rookie card of his. I didn't know who the fuck he was until I got 10 RBIs against this. Hits this bomb out to fucking left or right field. Yeah. And now we're up 9-3, and I cashed out my bet. I'm like, sweet. But I never bet baseball. I had the $50. Like I shut my betting down for the summer and wait for football to roll around. But thank you.
You're not going to bet any basketball playoffs?
I maybe dabble on some stupid $10 parlays, but basketball, the way you can score now, and this is kind of like to your point, like why you don't watch it as much. Like a 20-point lead is just not what it used to be. Right. So if the Celtics are, all year, and they've been covering a lot, but all year they're given 14.5. Like the game I went to on Sunday, the Portland game, I think it was like 15.5, and they won, but they won by like 14, which is still like they were up the whole game. They was never in question, but to reach, and I don't know. I just might do some props or something, but till the fall, I'm shutting down the betting for a little bit.
Well, we got a lot of betting to do in the fall.
Yeah.
Wait, did you ever put on the Patriots over under?
No, not yet.
You gonna wait till after?
No, I should probably. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna move either way. I think they probably are thinking, even if they draft Drake May, that he's not going to start right away. So, which is kind of my theory to bet the over, because you're going to have a mature quarterback running, hopefully with another wide receiver. Now we have kind of a pass catching running back now. The kid we got from Washington, Robinson, right?
Antonio Gibson.
Or Gibson, and I think we'll be good. To win 5 games.
You think they're going over 5?
Yeah, like you can see the things about over unders is unders you have to pretty much wait the whole game or the whole season to win. The overs, like, maybe we win 2 out of the first 4, right? We're 2-2. I'm like, dude, you just need 3 more. Like our, is our season going to spiral out of control like it did last year? I think our players are going to be a little more up in the beginning of the year, a little more conducive to the new coach. It's like when an interim coach comes in, like Antonio Pierce for the Raiders last year. They all started playing harder, and they won some games. Like, yeah. I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm not predicting 9-8 or 10-7, but could they be 5-12? 100%. Even 6-11.
Yeah.
Or are we going to be halfway through the year at 1-7 and we're just like in tank mode again? But that tank mode would be to trade the pick unless there's, I don't know who would, unless there's like a, because we won't need to draft a quarterback again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get into the draft, but I think there's always this energy with the new coach at first, but then what it boils down to is the talent. And defensively, we're not worried, right?
Right.
But I mean, offensively, I mean, the problem is to bet the over under right now. It's a crapshoot because we don't know who the offense is.
Right.
We both, I think, regardless of what we do, I think we both probably think Jacoby's starting week 1.
I mean, you got to get through preseason, but I think that's the right play.
Of course.
What if May lights it up? He plays, a half every game, and it's just that's our guy.
Then you have to play him.
Right.
You have to.
You have to.
But I don't know.
My whole thing is like you said it. You said it. Listen, Drake, you're on the bench. We're right, but you can't have Jacoby necessarily on this like this is where I think Bill really fucked up the last 2 years. Was these yankings of Mac Jones? How many times did he pull him for Zappy?
Right.
Like in game, that doesn't help confidence for Mac. It overinflates Bailey's value. He sucks.
So the problem with Mac, though, the whole thing, this is not a Mac Jones thing. Mac was drafted, but Cam started. Like, we re-signed Cam Newton, and he was supposed to be
and
the
Mac,
starter.
right, and Mac won the job.
The problem is Mac was just way better than Cam.
Right.
Regardless of how anyone thinks about Mac. At that time, he was better than Cam, so Bill played him. I mean, it's like if Jacoby Brissett, which I think we think is better than Cam was in that year, if Jacoby Brissett shits the bed, I mean, are you basically then saying we're going to keep playing him because we don't care about winning this year?
Right.
I mean, that's the dilemma.
I mean, that would be tanking. Like, I mean, it's hard to put a number on it. Like, they go out and they're 3-4 with Brissett, right? But they didn't really have those. I think the worst thing that happened to Mac was the Dallas and New Orleans game back to back.
Yeah.
That changed the season. And he looked terrible. He had no protection. It's just when he gets sacked trying to move or throw the ball, it looks like funny almost, like Jesus Christ, And even like dating back 2 years ago when he got knocked over by Chandler Jones in the Raider game, it's like, boy, this guy's got like no athletic ability. But I've read some Jacksonville newspapers articles that they haven't re-signed Trevor yet. Like Mac's sitting there. They're the same class. They both went to great schools. They both won national championships.
I've said this. There is a scenario where Mac Jones ends up going in and Lawrence gets benched. Trevor Lawrence, for his career, in 50 games, he's 20-30 as a starter, and he has 72 turnovers.
Yeah.
72.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't even... And everybody talks about him like he's this generational talent.
Well, he was coming in. He did inherit his first year toss out. He had a terrible team, and it's almost like Peyton Manning coming into the league, and they had this stupid idea to hire Urban Meyer as coach.
No, I get it. Without Urban Meyer, he's 17-16, and he has 40-something turnovers.
No, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying like he didn't get off to the greatest start either. Whereas Mac Jones came into a solid foundation, a solid situation in year one, and then they decided to fucking throw him the biggest curveball to, this guy, and it just I just feel bad for Mac. Like he's not going to go away. He's probably going to have a 12-year career. If he'll start again someday for some team. It is what it is, but I don't know.
He just needed to get out of here. That's all it was.
All right, you want to run down the top 10?
All right. So
You want to just go 1-1? We'll just say our picks instead of doing it All right. I think the first three probably have the same amount. Caleb Williams, 1 to the Bears.
Got it.
I have Jaden Daniels 2 to the Commanders. The reason being, I think it's Kingsbury's there, and that's more of his style quarterback to coach.
I agree with you. That. Not to mention the fact that everybody that's plugged in, including his college coach, basically said he's going to Washington.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't listen to all that stuff. And our most important draft in several years. I don't even consider the Mac Jones draft that huge, even though it was right after Brady. 15th. But yeah, we were 15th. I pray, hope, love God that Drake May comes to New England. If it's not Jaden Daniels, but like I said,
I was gonna say, in our scenario, Drake May. But if the Commanders take Drake May, I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
It's the quarter. Yeah, it's one of the two.
Those two. Yeah,
I'm perfectly happy with. It's so funny. It's really who you read.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'm no college scout. I've probably seen highlights of Drake May. I don't think I've ever sat through a North Carolina game. And the only highlights I started watching is when we started tanking this year. And I'm like, oh, he's one of the guys. I watched Caleb Williams play against Colorado. I actually watched that whole game. Caleb's he's probably going to be pretty good in the right system.
He'll absolutely be good.
Jaden Daniels, he worries me injury-wise, like just the way he plays.
He's reckless.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Jaden Daniels. Either he's going to be a star or he's going to be RG3.
Right, and that's what makes me laugh that he's going to the Commanders. Right. It's like, have they made that mistake already? Yep. So we'll see. Well, I don't think anyone's moving off of any of those 3 picks. So for the Cardinals, now I didn't do any trades.
I didn't either, but I think if you're looking at trades, that's got to be your spot.
Yeah, or the next one. So I got just taking MHJ.
I got that. That's what I got.
Yep. Chargers, I have them taking Malik Neighbors.
Okay, this is where we differ.
Yep.
I'm taking Joe Alt.
Okay, you're going offensive lineman. I said Neighbors only because they need another wide receiver.
No, they do, but they also need to keep Herbert.
No, agreed.
Alive.
Agreed. But it's. How long do you think Harbaugh's going to be there? 4 years.
He's what? Is he like 70?
No, he's not that old.
He's older. He's got to be in his 60s.
Young 60s.
His career ended in like 94.
Yeah, and he was probably 40 and... Oh, no. Maybe you're right.
He's older. I know he's older.
Yeah.
He's got to be in his 60s.
Yeah.
4 years, maybe 5. But he's also the type, like, he'll jump ship if it's not going well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I think he'll succeed, though. I don't know if he's winning a championship, but he's got. I mean, he's in the division of Mahomes, so
he picked the right team to go to.
I think so.
Instead of like Tennessee.
Unless Dallas opened up or Philly opened up, something like that. But
yeah,
that's where Belichick will be next year.
I 100% agree with you.
All right, so I went wide receiver. You went O-line. 6 Giants. I got them reaching again for a quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. Now, this is my trade spot. This is where I think the trade might happen. This is where the Vikings could come in.
You think J.J. McCarthy's going 6 regardless who's picking?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think, which is weird, Kodo, because the Giants still owe Daniel Jones like $80 million guaranteed.
Yeah, they hate him, though.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they hate him. So, I mean, it reminds me of when Arizona drafted the kid from UCLA 3rd. Josh Rosen, and then realized, wow, this kid sucks, and then got Kyler Murray. Yeah. They're like, sometimes you just got to eat the mistake. Yeah. You'll get past it. This pick is obviously going to differ at 7. I got Tennessee. Now I have Joe Alt being taken here.
Okay. I have them taking Odunze
from Washington. Yep.
By the way, if they do either one of our picks, they're loaded.
What do you mean?
Their team, their offense, they're loaded.
Tennessee?
Ridley, Hopkins, they're going to keep Levis. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're pretty good.
They lost Henry, though.
Yeah, but,
they're going to change their whole style of offense now without him.
Right.
But,
they have a new coach, too, right?
Yeah. Where were we? Tennessee. 8 Atlanta. This is more of a pick of not need, but just he's there, and that's where I think Odunze goes. And then their offense becomes another team that with an incredible offense.
Okay, because that's where I think Neighbors goes.
Okay, so you're still going wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our So you have a Dunze before Neighbors. I have it the other way. Bears, because those 3 wide receivers are gone, and they kind of have a decent wide receiver core. I haven't taken offensive tackle to protect the boy Latham, J.C. Latham from Alabama.
Yeah, Latham. Don't ask me how to pronounce his name, but the kid from Penn State, Fuya Shalom. Tackle. Yeah, that's where.
So we both took tackles there.
Yeah, we got, and then the Jets.
The Jets. So I haven't taken another tackle, Fuaga from Oregon State, I think.
Okay.
And in parentheses, I have Brock Bowers.
Okay, so I was just going to say I'm going to throw you a curveball and say Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
That's where I think he's going. And then just to run it down quickly, we have the Patriots. We have pick 3, pick 34, pick 68, 103, 137, 180, 193, and 231.
So I think we're both in consensus that if we do May, we should take that 34th and get T. Higgins instead of drafting. Who did Mel Kiper have us taken? The wide receiver from
Texas, A.D. Mitchell?
No. No, it was you actually texted me like, oh, another fucking, what's his name? N'Keal Harry.
Oh, Keon Coleman from Florida.
From Florida State. And like I literally read like his like thing, and it was like no speed, but he could catch a fade route in the end zone. I'm like, that's what you're right. That's what N'Keal Harry was.
Paul Cintron, who comes on my show, we were texting. I was watching the Florida State game one night because it was on, and I was like nothing else. And I texted him, and I'm like, "What do you think of Keon Coleman?" He wrote back, "N'Keal Harry." All set.
Yeah. No, we need a burner. We need a speedster.
I think honestly, what's your thought on this? I think we keep our first 3 picks, 3, 34, and 68, and then. In terms of trading, I think once we get to round 4, that's when we start like maneuvering around, maybe get another pick, maybe trade up with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think I could see us doing 34 for T. Higgins, but I don't know. I mean, if you draft, right? And let me ask you this.
Well, we have to sign him, though. We can't just give up that pick and not sign him.
Would you?
But we have the money.
If you grab, like, say, May, a wide receiver and a tackle, would you then consider giving up next year's number 1 for T. Higgins?
It's going to be high.
I know, but
that's what scares me. It's good. It could easily be a top 10 pick again, and we're going to have more needs than. We're still going to have needs. We're going to need a fucking kicker.
But you know what? By the way,
can we just sign that kid from fucking the UFL?
Yes.
You see, yeah, just sign him now. Just sign him. He's bombing 60. Is the football different in that league?
No, I don't think so anymore.
Okay.
Remember when it was like black? It was like painted. It was like
but same size, dimensions, all that. Yeah. Like they're using NFL football.
By the way, you know what's crazy? We have 8 wide receivers under contract, and we have the worst wide receiver in the NFL. But we have 8.
8. I mean, that's depth. I like to look at that as depth. The Red Sox have no depth. We have depth.
I want them to eat Juju's contract. Just cut him. Post June 1st.
I mean, he's like him and Bourne are like the veterans.
You know what? Keep Bourne.
No, I'm fine with Bourne. He's a good slot guy.
I just think just get rid of Juju. He's only holding up space. It's not like he's going to get better.
We like Douglas, right?
Like Douglas a lot.
But we don't really have any downfield guys. I mean, if Thornton could somehow just put a 15-game season together.
Yeah, but he's brittle.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He could probably have 60-something catches and 7 touchdowns if he fucking stays healthy.
I'm 20 pounds heavier than he is.
So, and tight end, we got Hunter Henry came back, and we signed. We signed
Austin Hooper.
Whatever.
That's it. I mean,
that's like Gesicki. It is what it is.
I think he'll be good. He can block. You need that.
They could always draft one.
They could.
Third, fourth round, whatever.
They're going to have to. I mean, you got to have some depth.
Yeah, and they're older. Those guys aren't young. I don't know. I mean, I think the running back room's okay. The They got to get another one though. They got to get someone.
Do you extend Ramondre?
I would. I like him.
You?
I like him.
I mean, I like him too. It's just running backs have such a short shelf life.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give him, what this year's crop got, but you get him for another 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 year contract.
220 something.
Yeah,
like maybe like
10, 12 a year,
or maybe 13 guaranteed.
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
something like that.
What's crazy? You're right. Like, what's crazy is like I was when we had Damian Harris, and he just retired. See you later. Went to Buffalo was he in there just 1 year or 2?
Year.
1 year. So he played 3 with us, 1 with them, and retired.
Yeah, it's got to be injury related.
Yeah, but I liked him too.
I liked him a lot. Those guys take a pounding.
Yeah. Not everyone's built like what's his name, Henry. I mean, Jesus Christ, guy's like an Adonis.
He's gonna. You know what's funny? He just went to the perfect situation.
He did, and what's crazy is like I always think fantasy on some of these players, and I would not draft him high, but he's probably going to have 15 touchdowns because who do you defend at the goal line?
Right.
Him or Lamar?
Right.
It's like who do you concentrate on? Or Lamar could have 10 rushing touchdowns from the one.
It's funny, like you're going to see an old school option with those.
Yeah,
people.
right.
Like pick your poison.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But they'll still fucking suck in the playoffs. Lamar will get hurt.
Zay Flowers will throw a ball at a guy on the ground.
Are we playing them this year? I know we have the opponents, just not the schedule yet.
I don't think we play.
Because we haven't beaten them in a while.
And we won't beat them this year either.
No, we won't. I got something written down.
Okay.
What the state of the Buffalo Bills?
Oh boy.
Now this is why I feel the Patriots. Listen, they're going to finish last. However, there is a building glimmer of hope that they. You look at the Red Sox, right, and you're like, just be around in August. Like hanging around, be Beetlejuice, just hanging around. I'm just hanging around.
Until training camp, just
right. So same thing with the Patriots. Like the Bills have definitely regressed.
So have the Dolphins.
So have the Dolphins, and the Jets are going all in on a quarterback that could go out again in week 1. Yep. Or even if he does play, is rusty as fuck. Is 41 years old.
And coming off the worst injury in sports
right, and is just. He was conspiracy theorying it up yesterday. Like, I think he just can't wait to be finished with football to become a right wing talking guy. Like I don't know what else to say. Like
he'll when he retires, he'll get a podcast. He'll go off and you know what I mean. Like he'll have weird people on and everything. And I mean, he's in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different than being in Green Bay. There's so many distractions.
So you got those 3 teams, and then here's the Patriots. Everyone's counting them out. I mean, this could be 2001 all over again. Do you remember in 2001, USA, I think it was USA Today, puts out the top 100 football players in America. Like NFL players.
We didn't have any.
We didn't have one that year. And we had some good players on our team, but not one cracked it.
Which is funny.
We had Drew Bledsoe. Like, he wasn't one of the top 100 players.
I know. He was still considered good back then.
Yeah. I mean, he's played for, Buffalo and then Dallas. Like, if you look at his career numbers, he should be a Hall of Famer compared to some of these other guys. I think it's a travesty he's not.
He's like 3rd or 4th in yards.
Yeah. Yeah. Back when, like, you still could defend a receiver.
I was going to say, and back when no one threw the ball,
he
was throwing the ball 70 times. And that was for Parcells.
45 for 70. Still a record, right?
Right.
45 completions and 70 attempts against Minnesota Vikings.
On a Monday night.
It was an overtime game, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was it? Keith Byers caught the winning touchdown?
Some weird, yeah. Keith Byers.
Something like that.
Oh, man. But, yeah, like, I just, you never know. I mean, no one thought, what was Houston's over on win total last year? Probably 4.5, 5.
4 or 5.
Right. I mean, they got a defensive coach. We got a defensive coach. They got a number 2 quarterback in the draft. We'll get the number 3 quarterback in the draft. I see the similarities are just, whew. They drafted, Tank Dell. He got hurt. Tank Dell never got hurt. They might have gone a little farther, but we're going to draft or trade for a stud wide receiver. We just really need a left tackle.
That's the key.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's they passed up some guys in free agency, so they're clearly looking towards the draft for that. Because they could have brought in Tyron Smith or like Jonah Williams. You know what I mean? Like there were guys we could have signed to like normal deals. It wasn't like Smith didn't get a ton.
No. I feel it's only April, but somehow when we do our preseason football show, we are going to talk ourselves into like 8 to 10 wins.
11 wins.
And Angelo Rossi's going to record it. Angelo Rossi's going to record it and then replay it back. We got the dog going nuts.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, it's fine. I'm getting Liz's. He's a brat. So Liz is home, and when she doesn't pay attention to him, he barks at like, I don't know, a squirrel. Like but back to that. Yeah, Angelo's going to hold out. He still mentions that we thought the Patriots were going to win 13 games.
Yeah. We weren't far off. I mean, in like the grand scheme of the universe, we were really close. And we won 4.
Yeah.
It's under 10. Right?
But like the thing is after this draft, I'm going to be texting you and I'm going to be like 10 wins.
Yeah.
Then they'll do training.
Now, what happens if they trade out? I want to know your reaction if it's like, and with the 3rd pick in the draft, Roger Goodell on stage, the Patriots, and then the bomb goes, doo-doom, doo-doom, and it just says trade.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
So here's the thing. If they get everybody talks about Minnesota. Let's just say it's Minnesota, and they get 11-23. They get a first next year, and maybe like a 3rd next year. I'll be unhappy, but I'll understand it, and it might be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'll be unhappy because I want a quarterback. We haven't had one in forever, and so like I'll be unhappy, but I'll understand it.
Yeah. You'll be fucking so mad. Yeah. I'm going to be sitting on the deck of the Royal Caribbean Joy, probably about to jumping off, and Chris is going to be the one, the voice of reason. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I already told Nicole, I said, I don't care about Friday. Well, I care about... See, the good thing is we're picking like right away on Friday.
In both rounds.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So it's like, all right, I'll get those out of the way. We can get on with the rest of our day. But I'm also happy Thursday is Thursday night. So, like, right before dinner, we'll probably pick... Or actually, what does it start, 8?
7 or 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But even...
So all the dinners we booked, I booked them too late. So they're all late. They're all like 9:30.
So the thing is like, it'll start at 7:30, but it'll be a half hour of talking.
Yeah.
And then what cracks me up is the first pick, they'll use almost...
Yeah, they'll run the clock right down.
Right.
Well, that's a show. It's a TV show. They're not stupid. So yeah, I'll get to see that pick, and yeah, I also did. I did read that they were. Don't be shocked if they trade back up into the first round with that second round pick.
I know, but
I don't know who they're chasing, but it'd have to be a tackle or a wide receiver would be my guess.
I guess if you think that one of the wide receivers that like that kid from Texas that ran like a 4.2,
yeah,
or whatever, like if Xavier Worthy, like if you think he's not going to be there at 34, I get trading up for him. Or something like that.
Because if you trade up now, like think long term, and you're going for a wide receiver, you could be taking that wide receiver from Kansas City because they're going to need a wide receiver.
Yeah, because he's going to
jail.
Yeah, he will not go to jail.
Yeah, he will.
No, he won't.
He fled the fucking scene. Texas don't fuck around with that shit.
He's going to pay them.
He's going to get suspended by the league.
He will get suspended by Goodell, but it'll only be like 2 games. I mean, Tyreek Hill tried to murder his wife and kid, and he only got 2 games.
Yeah, but we're talking about a Lamborghini here, and 6 other people got hurt, and he fled. He fled.
I know, but he turned himself in.
Well, because his
lawyer was like, he was responsible. He turned himself in. It's just like
he didn't stay. He caused the crash. You can't put a Lamborghini in a 20-year-old's hands. I'm sorry, they don't know. I don't know how to drive one. I never have, but it takes practice. All right, quick Bees minute.
Yeah, go.
I don't want to talk about the Bees unless they win the first round, so that's my Bees minute.
All right. we do have to get to a couple. Well, all right. Let's just reminisce for a second. OJ dies yesterday.
Well, that was good. I think we would wrap up on the OJ thing.
Oh, we want to. Okay, all right.
Any other sports stuff?
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
Ohtani.
Yep.
Let's. We both think he knows everything, right?
I wouldn't say everything, but a lot.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is what I don't understand. Supposedly stole $16 million. Like, I don't care how much you get paid. You don't notice $16 million? There's just no way. You can't funnel it enough. So his interpreter stole $16 million. He placed 19,000 bets. He lost $182.94 million. He won $142.27 million. That's just such an astronomical number.
Yeah.
And it's an illegal bookie, supposedly.
That's more than Butte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His average wager was $12,800. His largest was $160,000. His smallest was $10. And he owes the bookie $24 million. I don't care who you are not extended a line of credit for $24 million. Have you ever used an illegal bookie? I have not.
I used to be one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I had limits. I had you couldn't bet more than $500 a game. I mean, I didn't have that much money, so I wasn't going to like take a $10,000 bet on a game.
Right.
I'm assuming. Did they say where the bookie generated from? Is it a Japanese bookie? Is it?
There's no talk about the bookie. All the talk is that Ohtani's innocent and Mizuhara, the interpreter, is guilty.
Couple thoughts. One, I understand what you're saying about line of credit, but if the story holds true, he faked his identity and said he was Ohtani. So he signs a $700 million contract.
The guy's like,
you guys like, yeah, he's good. Whatever. If that's the case. Two, how is your interpreter your money guy?
Or how does he add that?
How is you take actors or you take sports stars or they're more about their craft, so they always hire financial advisors, and a lot of them get duped. A lot of them get fucking frauded.
Yeah.
But your interpreter that you're paying $140,000 a year for is now your financial advisor as well.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
And he just got married. So you would think by just getting married, you would kind of know what your finances are. You're looking at I don't know how many bank accounts he has, but...
Or she'd want to know.
Right. She'd be like, that's weird. Like, what'd you write out a check for, what'd you wire the $1.3 million for?
Right.
I guess, I don't know. There's this level of disbelief in me that he didn't know anything. He did the press conference, but it was with another interpreter, and he couldn't ask him any questions. Is there a level of protection from MLB? Probably. Yeah. And probably from Japanese baseball, because they don't want their money stream connection of us buying players from them to end either. So this is a global betting scandal, not just a MLB betting scandal. So I honestly, I don't care if the feds are fine with it that no one bet on baseball. Fine. I mean, I don't think this guy has any money to get back. I certainly hope whoever they are betting through isn't like mafia and is going to want their money, or are they just going to kind of eat this $24 million and be like, whatever, we're not going to get in trouble ourselves.
Right.
But it's, what I hated the most? I was watching Colin Cowherd the other day when this news broke, and one of my favorite guys in all TV is Jason McIntyre, his sidekick. I think I just think he's level-headed, but I just saw the media in him right away. Like, this report came out, and he's just like, see, he's exonerated. There's nothing even to talk about anymore. I'm like, wait a second. It's just some flimsy FBI report. This is not the final report either. Like, they haven't dug everything up yet. Like, the media's so quick they must have gotten the notes. Like, listen, we're not getting rid of this guy. This guy ain't Ray Rice. We're not getting rid of him. He's sticking around. He's our fucking future. We need a face of baseball. This is our guy. And now they're just going to brush whatever really happened under the rug. And that's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this has been going on for years in all sports.
Of course.
They didn't like Pete Rose.
Here's the other thing. You can't have every other commercial in a sporting event be DraftKings or BetMGM or any of those.
And expect
and then get mad when they bet.
Right. It's like the NBA guy, Porter.
Okay, he was stupid.
No, I agreed, but like you set these guys up to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he literally told his boys to fucking bet the unders on his playing time and all that shit and the amount of threes he took, and he was a DMP after the first 4 minutes in each game. Yeah. And it was like the heaviest betted action on DraftKings. It's like, again, like you said, well, your guys are the sites that let these bets happen. Like you can literally, this is what's so crazy and so dangerous, is you can bet anything at any time. Like, you and I grew up on, all right, what's the line? What's the over-under? Do we want to tease it, parlay it, take them straight? That's it. Now that, literally the line changes on the first basket of the game. Right. Celtics by 14.5. The other team shoots a 3. All right, Celtics by 12.5 now. And you try to, okay, let me get that extra point. And then they start losing big. Now you start betting the other side. Next thing you know, you got all this shit in your head, in your hands, and you're trying to figure out, what am I even going to win or lose here? Like a lot of your bets don't even matter. Like you don't even. It happens so fast. Did I hedge it correctly? You have no time to think, and that's where they're going to get you. And and like you said, it's every commercial.
It's every commercial. They have Hall of Famers in every commercial.
Yeah.
So you just and if you're a young, and here's the other thing, the stupid thing, like the NFL, real quickly, you can gamble. You just can't gamble on NFL authorized property.
Right. So what does that even mean?
Right. So if you're at Gillette Stadium, you can't bet. But if you walk across Route 1 to one of those parking lots, you can bet.
Yeah, it's a Rodman's car dealership.
Right. Like that's how you can do anything.
Right.
What are we even talking about?
Well, it's like with UConn. Like in Connecticut, you can't bet on UConn games, right? So if you're a UConn student at Stores, you can't bet on the game. But you can ask Donovan Clingan, hey, keep it under 12 rebounds tonight. I got a nice little girl coming to your room later. That dude literally drives 10 minutes to the Mass border and can put the bet in.
Right. That's the whole point. It's like the dumbest thing ever.
But people get caught because they get greedy. So these people are probably betting $50,000 on these unders on this guy instead of just, let me win a couple $100 tonight,
Right. So instead of winning it over 82 games, they
right.
won it in 2.
Right. And that's where the flags come up.
But his brother's Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
So he's on a $285 million contract. So
right. So
I'm sure his brother's going to be just fine.
Oh yeah, but you're souring the name though, bro.
Yeah. And he's going to get banned from the league. So now you don't even get to live out your dream.
Right. Over some stupid shit. Like if you really, I don't know. Like I didn't read the whole thing. Were these bets he made, or is it bets somebody else made? To knowing that he was going to check himself out of these games.
I believe he made a couple.
So he bet on himself to get unders.
So he bet on.
And then he went, I don't feel so good.
One of them was he won't make a 3.
And he never took one.
And no, he missed all 3.
Oh.
But it's like.
You could easily miss him on purpose.
Dude, if you handed me a basketball right now, I could miss a shot and make it look like I was trying.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right? Like when I coached, we used to do a rebounding drill, and I would stand there and I would take shots so they could box out and go get it. But I could miss off the back rim, just throw it a little harder. You know what I mean? There's ways to do it.
Yeah.
And make yourself look good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something it's a problem that's not going away. And I know a lot of states now are doing for college. You can't prop bet college games anymore. You can only bet the lines. I think that's the way to go because these kids are so young, naive.
It doesn't clear up the problem though. Just because say you.
No, they're still gonna bet, but I hate to keep using Klingen's name, but like I said, you can't bet Klingen's under on rebounds anymore. You can just bet UConn to win. You can't bet personal prop bets where, this is going way back to when I was fucking booking. I had a guy that called me and my friend, and I didn't know who he was. He was some big time bookie. And he said, if you guys pay me $1,000, I'll give you 6 guaranteed winners. So we all scratched up $1,000, and we got six games. Hold on one second. Where am I going to decline? And so we get this, and it's like 6 of the most random teams, and this is college football. They all hit. We didn't bet any of it. We just wanted to see, right? They all hit. 6-0. So the guy calls us back. How'd you guys do? And we just like, we did great. All right, well, it's going to be 2,000 this week. I'm like, fuck. Like, did we just, but if we bet, so we did. We all chipped in. 6-0 again. We stopped after that. We're like, listen, these guys are just going to keep climbing the ladder on us, and we can't, there's got to be losers in here somehow. They were all getting paid. You take these teams that aren't in the national spotlight, and
Right.
what happens is they pay off a cornerback to slip and fall. Running down the sidelines, whoop, slip and fall, or on the quarterbacks are never paid. Like, it's a running back, it's a skill position guy that,
Right.
A guy can just drop a pass. Like,
Right.
how many pass drops have you seen? Like, how did you not catch that?
Right.
And it's like Townsend State, versus, like, it's these most randomest ones. So we bet enough to break even.
You get the ball and you whoops. Straight up in the air.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, there's still ways to do it, but the prop bets, I think, in college are just too easy to manipulate. Like, like Purdue, the guy in Purdue, Zach Edey. I think he was over under 30 points. He was averaging like 30, he could just start hucking them up for his boys. Like,
right.
It's not hard for him to get over,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just, or say everyone take the under tonight, and he's going to start overshooting his little hook shots and not score.
Right, randomly
Miss a free throw.
Shots.
Yeah, it's I think too easy to manipulate, and these kids are so young, and it's just money, and they're in school and they're making the NIL money, but their friends aren't,
Right.
And this is a way for them to help their buddies out,
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, I think, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, they're as much as they try to punish these guys, and as much as they try to say they shouldn't do it. As soon as the press conference is over, you get the Allen Iverson DraftKings commercial.
Right.
So it's like you can't you're
and the Kevin Garnett and Jamie Foxx commercial,
yeah,
and then
you know what I mean? It's just always going to be there if you want, because they must make hundreds of millions off the gambling.
Oh yeah.
Revenue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the money stream is going to be there. It's just
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, that is what it is.
All right, so finish on OJ.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'll start.
All right.
So kind of a thought. You know how you have those memories in your head of remember where you were,
Yeah,
when that happened. So I think my first one was the space shuttle blowing up
In '86.
in '86.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was like my first. I'll never forget where I was. I was in second grade.
And we were.
No, I'm sorry. I was in sixth
you were in
grade.
fourth?
Sixth grade.
Yeah, because I was in fourth.
Yeah,
grade.
yeah. I was in sixth grade, and we were in the cafeteria, and they wheeled in a TV, whatever. Whatever. We all have our stories from that, people that are our age.
You know what's funny, by the way? My second grade teacher was Kristen McCall's college roommate.
Really?
She was there.
Oh,
She
wow.
was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
So I think OJ, I'd have to think harder, was kind of my second. I was actually watching the first part, the White Bronco part. The Knicks game was on.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
I was at my ex-girlfriend. Yep, I was at my ex-girlfriend's house. We're sitting on the couch, and they kept cutting back and forth, and it was fascinating.
And then
It got to the point where I wanted them to cut back to to chase instead of the game.
I think they did. I think they did at one point.
Yeah. I was just like, no, I want to see more of the chase. And they're like, they got a gun. He's got a gun to his head. He's got a gun to his head.
So that was also, don't forget, that was the Rangers parade day.
Yep.
The New York.
Oh yeah, there's a whole 30 for 30 on all that shit. Yeah.
That was a great one. And
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer's last
Masters.
major, the U.S. Open. It was his last major.
U.S. Open. Yeah, it's the Masters now. Yeah.
Fun fact, by the way, that was my last day of high school.
Oh yeah.
That was the last day of high school. We graduated the following Sunday.
So then let's fast forward to the trial and the day of the verdict.
All day, every day.
It was all day, every day. It was Comedy Central pretty much, and I'm at the college dorms at University of New Haven, and it was pretty diverse there. There was, a lot of blacks, a lot of whites, a lot of Asians, very diverse community. And I just remember looking out my window, and the verdict was about to come out, and some dude threw out the window a jug of orange juice on a noose and just dangled it out the fucking third floor dorm window. And then the verdict came out, and you just saw him like pull it up really quick because he was innocent. And that was just like my lasting memory of the whole thing, is everyone is glued to their television sets for this fucking verdict.
I'm with you on the chase. I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember like we were at a party last day of school. I'll never forget it. Then the next couple days when they were doing like, pretrial hearings and he was in court, I remember that. I do remember, I didn't watch it live, but you obviously remember the video of, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Of course, yeah.
And like the gloves didn't fit, but he was trying.
Oh yeah, no, he was like purposely like, see, like I can't get it over my palm.
Yeah. And then I remember where we were. Like, I do remember the verdict. I remember them reading the verdict. Yep. I remember him being not guilty. And
I remember when I do you remember like when they said Orenthal?
Yeah, it was weird.
They're like, yes, we find the defendant Orenthal J. I'm like, who the fuck are they talking about?
I know, right?
It's the first time I ever heard his name other than OJ.
But I think about it, like, we knew him growing up as like he
the
was
Hertz
Monday
guy,
Night Football,
and he was the Hertz commercial, yeah.
And he was Norbert, and
and Norbert, yeah.
He was all these things,
yeah.
And it was just weird watching it. And I remember like Bob Costas and Dr. J, like. There was a video of them, and they were like basically like crying watching the chase, and because he was their boy, and then they all kind of were just like, well,
there was like hot mic stuff with Bob Costas too, like during that, and he was getting pissed. He's like, "Are we gonna fucking when are we coming back on? When are we coming back on?" Because he was Mr. NBC back then.
Yeah, he was,
and they had the playoffs. Yeah.
That, by the way, anybody want to watch them? That 30 for 30 is great.
Oh, it's really good.
It's really.
I think it's what's it called? Just the date, right? It's like June.
June 17th, 1994.
Yeah.
And there's no like the way the guy did it. There's no announcer. Like it's all just live media clips from when it happened.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I because obviously like when he died, I started like reading stuff because there was articles everywhere. All the stuff he said from the Bronco was ruled inadmissible at trial.
Right.
So none of like that
phone call,
confession or anything.
Yeah.
None of that was ruled like admissible at trial.
And just like reading through the internet last night and today, it's going to I shouldn't say remind. It's going to foreshadow almost like when Trump dies. It's like it's just so divided, or like when Rush Limbaugh died. Like there are people that are just like, I'm kind of like, I think I'm a believer that he killed her, but
I believe it.
But it's just I just think it's fascinating, and then how he kind of got like a revenge, like they kind of got revenge on him in that second trial of the stolen goods.
Yeah, they gave him 33 years.
Yeah,
and that like a year and a half.
Right. And, it's just everyone is just like, fuck you, you're dead. And, and he still has friends. And I guess his kids and grandkids were at his bedside. And, he kind of made a second kind of weird internet career before he passed away. And he's just one of those divided personalities that we grew up with. And, I'm like, Trump's next. Trump's not going to live more than 10 years. And I think Trump will get so much more vitriol than OJ get. And OJ actually physically to the point where he almost cut their heads off, killed them,
Like he decapitated her. It was like hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
It's so funny because if you look back on it, with all the crime scene evidence, like Bill Simmons once wrote this, and it clicked with me. The reason OJ got away with it was a pre-CSI world.
Right.
So like the TV show CSI taught us about crime scenes. We didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
So like there was evidence everywhere. There was like so much, like his DNA, everything was all over the place. We didn't know that though. And so like I made the joke yesterday. I was like, if that was today, he'd get the death penalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would have given the death penalty. But he walked. And it's just so funny. Like, I will say this. The one thing I felt bad for was his kids. Because not only did I mean, their mother get brutally murdered. They went through that whole trial. They went through everything, right?
Yeah.
And then now that he's dead, they're going through it all over again, right? Like
that's what Ron Goldman's dad said. You know, he's like, yeah, he's dead. He's going to die eventually, but now I got to relive all this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And that's like the same thing for his kids. Like, and it's so funny because he ended up with custody of those kids after the trial.
Yeah.
Her parents, her family.
Yeah. Yep.
But he ended up with custody. But like, you feel bad for the kids because not only is their dad O.J. Simpson, and it was like the most, I don't even know, like most notorious court case of all time. And
it was trial of the century, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it was, but now they have to relive all that.
Yeah.
And now both their parents are dead, so it's just like. And I saw something. Goldman's dad's lawyer said they're still trying to find OJ's money.
Yeah, well, you know, as we were talking, I had a little blurb that came down that he died with $114 million in debt.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I meant to say I was going to actually. I'm glad you said that because one of the little banners came down and it's shit.
I know he got due to like the NFL their pension. He got $35,000 a month from the pension, but there was something I read where legally Goldman's family couldn't touch it.
Right.
Like no one could touch it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought about OJ in so long, you know, until yesterday, and I was like, holy shit. Brought up a lot of memories of high school, college, and.
Well, I mean, you went through all that.
Yeah, grew up through it. Yeah. All right, so I texted you the other night. We'll finish on this. I texted you the other night about my little. I'm just bored and trying to collect all these Patriot quarterback cards.
Yeah.
So I already have Brady, right? I have his rookie. I already have Bledsoe. Got that years ago. Obviously, I got a million Mac Jones. They're worth fucking pennies now. So what came in the mail yesterday was. So the way I'm doing it is they had to be. The quarterback had to have the most starts in that season, in a season, for me to get their card. Okay? So I got a Matt Castle card autographed. Now, all this shit's pretty cheap because, so he started 16 games or 15 games that year. Okay? So he made the cut. On the way, I got Doug Flutie, Tony Eason. I got an autographed Steve Grogan card coming. A Cam Newton 1-of-1 card coming. I have plenty of Drake Mays should he be drafted. And I'm trying to think. Hugh Millen.
Hugh Millen. Did you get a Scott Sequels?
So I was thinking of either should I get both Scotts? I mean, neither of them had the most starts in a season. But Zolak was there, 4 or 5 years. Sequels was there 2 or 3.
Zolak. The 2-14 year under Dick McPherson, Zolak was the one that won those 2 games.
Okay, all right. I'll throw Zolak a bone.
Yeah, because he threw for like 300 something yards at Atlanta that year.
Yeah, and Flutie actually led us in starts one year. He had 2 stints with us though.
What was the strike year though? Wasn't it?
It might have been. Yeah, he only had 7 starts. I think there was 12 games or something.
Yeah.
But then there's like. Some guys I couldn't even fucking. I'm like, I forgot about that guy. But 1 star. I'm not going to waste my money on those guys, even if there's even cards from them I could find.
Yeah.
But it should be complete. I guess I'll get the Scott cards, and then we'll call it a day. Might as well. But that's my little. Since I've been alive, I didn't want to go before 74. I got Plunkett.
Okay. So
I got Plunkett's. It was before, so his last year was 74 with the Patriots when I was born.
Okay, he was the number 1 overall pick.
I did. He was 1972. I got his rookie card. That actually had a little value to it. I was surprised. I mean, I got it. It's already graded. So.
By the way, do you know who the other number 1 overall picks we had were?
Well, Bledsoe was one.
Irving Fryer.
Hold on. What position?
D tackle.
It
was Russell Maryland. Remember, that was the year that we had the number 1 overall pick, and Rocket Ishmael didn't want to play here, so we went to Canada first. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Fucking, he sucked in the NFL too.
Yeah,
he was awful.
What didn't he? No, he wasn't the one. Was he the one that ran back the 2? No, who was that against us in '96?
Desmond Howard.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh man. So yeah, that's and I'm staring at some nice Drake Mays over there. So it's, I mean, either way they'll be good because they're North Carolina cards. But
Yeah, those will be good.
I got to get them autographed somehow. But anyway,
Well,
hey man,
I'm sure he'll be at a
Yeah.
he'll be at a card show.
yeah, he will. It's these guys. These Trevor Lawrence gets $400 to sign one of his cards.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it not anymore. Last year, at the beginning of last year, if he did it, you would have made money. Now it's, he's got to perform. Now he's at year 4. You got to perform, or these collectors just don't care.
Yeah.
Think about every of the 5 quarterbacks in that draft, only one of them is still a starter.
It's so wild.
It is.
It's so crazy.
And
San Francisco gave up.
And three of them have been traded already, and the 4th probably will be traded. And Zach Wilson, or he's going to get just flat out cut. Worst QB draft of all time.
It's up there.
It's got to be up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely has to be. With the hype that it came
Yeah.
in, 5 first-round quarterbacks.
And here we are again. See what happens with this one. I hope this one doesn't repeat that one. And we're in both of them. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
3 years apart. Ah, shit. All right, buddy. I got to get going. I got to go home, eat lunch, shower, go to work.
All right. Well, I'm glad we could do this one. It's funny. I haven't done a sports show in like a month and a half.
Oh wow, really?
I've been doing other things.
Yeah, it's fun. I like diverting from sports sometimes. So
yeah, like I love doing the sports shows, but at the same time, there's been some other stuff I've done, and it's pretty cool. Like a girl I've known for a long time came on. She works for the AFSA, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention or whatever.
Oh, nice.
She came on. I learned a ton of stuff from it. Was pretty cool. So nice. I've been trying to do a little bit different,
Yeah, I had the girl on Wednesday. She's the
I saw that.
She's the booking agent for the Steve Wilkos show. She made me take it down off of I had to remove it from YouTube, and I kept the audio one up so you can still listen to it on the audio side, but she got a little nervous because she has NDAs and stuff through work. And I'm like, you're the one that reached out to me. She's an awesome girl, but she's like, you know what? I think my colleagues are just fucking with me. I'm like, we didn't say anything bad about him or give any trade secrets away. It was everything I found off of Wikipedia. Like anyone could research this shit on their own. So, all right, bud, have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Let's hope the Sox can go 3-1. 3-1.
Yeah, let's do it. 3-1.
Yeah, we'll be 10-7.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I forgot to mention this earlier. I saw a tweet the other day. Tuesday against the Guardians, I think it is.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, 13,600 seats have not been sold. That's 36% of.
Yeah. Their attendance last night was like 24,000 or something.
Unbelievable.
Good seats still available all year long.
Yes, sir.
Just call Ticketmaster. They'll keep those prices down for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they will.
All right, see you, buddy. Man. I'll text you later.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Bye.